Right on. I'm Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group. We're the preferred digital marketing agency, and today you guys are here to talk a little bit about all this internet stuff. Fair? Fair. How many of you are comfortable where you are as far as the business size and growth? How many of you would like to grow? Are your arms tired? Would you like to grow? Right on. Well, sometimes that's legit. Sometimes they don't want to grow. Sometimes the goal is there anyone in here who would just rather have more time off? Always. She said like this. Let me guess. He convinced you this was as close to a vacation as possible to get here. I am an entrepreneur just like you. At some point, you guys sat back with your family, and you had a bright idea, and you sold it, that you were going to start a business, possibly quit your day job, insurance, benefits, regular paycheck, regular hours, and start a company. How many of you went through that process? Okay? And when you did that, you sold yourself on a reason. You want more what? 3 things. More what? Time, money, next. Freedom. Freedom, that's it. Everyone agree with that? I can talk to any group of entrepreneurs, any group, any industry. Every entrepreneur starts with that in mind. I want more time, money, and freedom. I don't want to work for the man. I'm going to start my own company. This is going to be fun. How many of you feel like you have it? We just had this conversation, didn't we? And I said, I start almost every single class reminding everyone, you are an entrepreneur. You do deserve a vacation. This is not a vacation if you got drug here. No matter what your husband said. Okay? It should be one of your goals. If you made a goal that says, I want to take 6 weeks vacation in the summer and not worry about the business, would you make different decisions in your business? You have to. You would have to. It's like having kids, right? You don't get a class, right? They don't tell you how to do this. You're probably the youngest one in here, huh? How old are you? 18. 8. I call this crew my next gen. We have a next gen crew at our office. I love a next gen. We have a love-hate relationship, but it's okay. Okay. There's no storyline that tells you how to do this. You guys are in a tough position. You're about in as tough a position as a consumer that's trying to hire a contractor who doesn't know what they're getting into. They don't know what questions to ask you. They don't know who to trust. They don't know what you're giving them as options. They don't know 2-speed, variable speed, 1 fan, 5 fans, ductless, ducked in, ducked out, right? They don't know all this stuff, and they have to make a decision. You guys are in a similar position, trying to figure out how the heck do I market a business, because it's everything. Products and services. Met a gentleman earlier that says, you can strip me from my business. I'll start over. I don't care about the products and services. Doesn't matter, because I know how to run a business. I know how to market a company filled with products and services that I know people want, and I know how to get it in front of them so that we're an option when and where they're looking. That is essentially what this is about. This is about you being an option when and where your prospective clients are looking. Would you agree? Do you want to be an option if they're looking for what you're selling? Yeah? Okay, we'll take that. Better wake up. It's the wrong class to be sleepy. Here's a challenge. what do you do first? Okay? So let me ask you, forget about your companies for just a minute, forget about your business. As a consumer, if you need something, what do you do?
Google.
Google, Amazon it. What else?
Ask my brother-in-law.
Okay. Raise your hand if you Google it. Is that your natural response? Keep your hands up and look around. Okay? How many of you click on the ads, the 3 ads at the top of Google when you do a search for something? Look around. Are you clicking on competitors? 42 bucks pop? Come on. Google only caches 1 click. You can get 142 bucks a day. Okay. So, no one raised their hand. I had one that said sometimes, and I had this. Market tester. How many of you have invested in pay-per-click? No one raises their hand in my class saying as a consumer they click on the ads, but usually 60 to 70% of those who invested in marketing pay for pay-per-click. What's wrong with that? Any problem with that? Yeah, that's an oxymoron. I need to have a coming to Jesus meeting. I need to sit down and go, that's interesting. As a consumer, I don't buy that way. But as a business owner, that's where I'm going to invest my funds. So let's talk about investments. There are 2 ways to spend your money. You have permanent investments that produce a compounding interest impact on your business versus simple. And you have burning and churning cash on things that are temporary, where you spend. When you're done spending or you stop spending, it's gone. Give me an example of burn and churning cash where it's temporary. Once you stop spending or it's done, it's gone. Pay-per-click. Perfect. What else? Billboards. Perfect. Next.
TV, right?
God, what? I always have to have... I didn't pay him.
That's just because I pay for all of them. Come on.
That's real. Okay? Not saying they're not valuable. I'm saying as a business owner going into it knowing that I'm spending this cash and when I'm done or I stop or pause, there is nothing there. That's a decision. And there's a time and a place for that. Give me an example of something that is permanent and produces compounding interest impacts for your business. Grows over time. Website. What else?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. What else? Reviews. Absolutely. What else? Social media. Sometimes. If sometimes. You put a picture of yourself in your yard? Or you knee up? Okay. Social media sometimes. If I post something on Facebook, does it perform for me 3 days from now? Okay. If I post a video on YouTube, does it perform 3 days from now? Does it perform 3 years from now? What happens 10 years later? And it gets more what? Okay. Got to label it right. Absolutely. If I write handwritten letters and I send them to all my clients and I mail them out, that's a good thing to do, yes? If I get in front of that video camera and I say, hi, I'm Jennifer Bagley with ABC Heating and Air Conditioning Company, and I wanted to personally thank you for choosing our company to help you with your system. If you know someone who needs our help, we would greatly appreciate your referrals. And oh, by the way, if you stop by our website, click on the review link, drop us a love note. We would greatly appreciate it. One video on YouTube, how many times can I use it? Permanent versus temporary. So as a business owner, I tend to think about investing in my company, investing in other companies. I love entrepreneurs, love them. Sometimes they're a little hard-headed. However, I love them. As a digital marketing agency, we do almost all of those things. So every single business in here needs something different. And there is no salesperson that can get in front of you and plop down a catalog and say, this is what you need for marketing. It doesn't work like that. They actually have to do some homework. Because the advice I would give someone that's been in business 30 years, is doing $20 million a year in sales, has 99 trucks, a database with 300 monthly agreements for maintenance on a subscription with cash flow year-round, is going to be totally different than someone who's just getting started. Or someone who has always done one-time deals, doesn't have any recurring income. Or someone who's in Florida, who has how many months of summer, versus someone in Seattle, Washington, who has 4 seasons. There's a lot of different things to consider when it comes to you guys making decisions on marketing, and this is difficult. This process, you guys have 2 forms in front of you. Okay, one is 12 steps, got a lot of stuff on it. We'll get back to the other one in a minute. This is the 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results. So starting on step 1, there are 12 steps and 12 stages. We only had like 60 of these left, and I'm going to use them, but I'm going to redo this because consumers, technology, and the requirements of Google have changed enough that this, that I talked about for the last year, is no longer valid. There is a different priority. When it comes to marketing, every investment, every dollar you spend is going to have a certain impact depending on the sequence, timing, and order in which you invest. If you design a website and you have 1 review out there for 1 star, how well is your website going to perform for you? Okay? Yes. If you spend all this money designing and developing a website and you have no content,